In this video, we've compiled undercover boss moments where employees got angry. So without further ado, let's get started.
There has been instances where you're gonna want to strangle and slap a kid.
In the episode of Undercover Boss, Yankee Candle, Harlan Kent, the president and CEO of Yankee Candle, goes undercover to experience the daily operations of his company. As he immerses himself in different roles, he encounters an employee named Blaze, who displays a concerning attitude towards children. Blaze confesses his frustrations and even mentions wanting to harm a kid.
I have the worst temper. As much as, you hate your boss, you hate that really high, screechy, annoying voice, you gotta keep that Yankee Candle big smile.
Harlan is taken aback by Blaze's comments, but decides to confront him privately about it. Later, Harlan moves to another location and meets an employee named Jose. They work together on the candle production line, and Harlan is impressed by Jose's dedication and commitment to quality. During their conversation, Jose expresses his belief that advancement within the company requires brown-nosing, which he finds unfair. He shares his challenging upbringing, having grown up with a drug-addicted father and a mother involved in drugs. Despite all of these struggles, Jose believes that they've made him stronger.
My dad was a heroin addict. I was 16. He died in 1995 of AIDS. 14 to 16, we kind of dealt with seeing him die slowly.
Harlan visits Jose's martial arts studio, where he started to inspire and guide children. Harlan is touched by Jose's efforts and the humble state of the studio, which was funded through a community-driven fundraiser. In another store, Harlan meets Megan, an employee who has concerns about the store's condition and management's lack of response. Together, they work on improving the store's appearance, and Megan reveals her personal struggles, including owning a struggling tattoo shop and dealing with epilepsy. They discuss her desire to make a positive impact in people's lives.
Hi, I'm Dan.
Nice to meet you, Dan. I'm Megan. Come on in.
Megan.
All right, we've got about 24 minutes to open.
Okay.
So we need to get the floor vacuum and make sure that everything looks good.
Lastly, Harlan visits a store in Pennsylvania and interacts with an employee named Dan. While observing Dan's work, Harlan notices that the store frequently lacks the necessary materials for setting up displays. During their lunch break, Harlan learned more about Dan's personal life. Dan revealed that his father had passed away and he had the responsibility of feeding his mom and his little sister.
Right now at the house, it's me, my mom, and my little sister.
That's your dad?
He passed away last June.
After completing his undercover journey, Harlan gathers all the employees at the flagship store to reveal his true identity as the CEO. He individually meets with each employee and addresses the concerns and challenges they shared during his undercover experience. Harlan offers solutions, support, and financial assistance tailored to each employee's needs.
Using inappropriate language, especially in a place where you're trying to create a great atmosphere, wrong time, wrong place.
Other than the situation at hand, I never use any inappropriate language.
Yeah, just drop it from your everyday use.
While the episode showcases Harlan's efforts to make a positive impact on his employees' lives, the moment that stood out was when Harlan discovered Blaze's inappropriate comments about children. This revelation triggered Harlan's anger and concern, leading him to have a private conversation with Blaze and offer to be a positive role model for him.
My job just happens to have a lot of bull. Half my stops want their wine before 11 a.m. I've been told, like, what the are you doing here, right? You either want the wine or you don't.
In an episode of Undercover Boss featuring Kendall Jackson president Rick Tigner, there's a moment when an employee became angry and frustrated, expressing negative sentiments about the company. Rene was a truck driver known for his colorful vocabulary. Despite his outburst, Rene was not fired, and the show provided an update on a situation.
The people in the office think the drivers are lazy. After a 16-hour day and they try to give you attitude, I mean, the first thing that comes to your mind is you.
During the episode, Rene had been assigned to work in different departments, which led him to develop a more efficient method for handling delivery paperwork. Tigner acknowledged that Rene's candid comments during his undercover experience were a reflection of his genuine feelings and concerns. Tigner recognized the need for improvement in certain areas and expressed a commitment to addressing these issues.
The one comment he made today was, who cares about customer service? It was all about emptying the truck. He talked about the one customer and really kind of telling him off a little bit. For me, that was a little shocking.
However, some viewers expressed skepticism about Rene's future with the company. They questioned whether he had fully embraced the company's vision of teamwork taken responsibility for his attitude, or made a genuine change in his language use. Although the episode did not provide explicit details, a visit to Kendall Jackson's website revealed that Renee had resumed his position as a truck driver.
I'm gonna take you through a normal day here at True Value.
Fantastic.
We're gonna smoke some cigarettes. We're gonna flirt with some women. We're gonna sell some.
I'm sorry, we're gonna do what?
John Hartman is the president and CEO of True Value, one of the largest hardware cooperatives in the world. As the episode kicked off, John made the decision to go undercover within his own company, donning a disguise to join his employees and gain an authentic perspective on what was really happening within the organization. John's background as a former FBI agent equipped him with the skills necessary to go undercover and investigate the state of True Value and its employees. Little did he know that his undercover mission would lead him to encounter an employee named Brad, who would soon become the focal point of anger and frustration. As John assumed the persona of Lewis, a handyman aiming to win a substantial cash prize on a reality TV show, he found himself in Massachusetts, where he crossed paths with Brad, a sales associate at True Value. From the moment Brad opened his mouth, it became clear that he possessed a certain rebellious and disrespectful attitude towards the company and its customers. Brad constantly joked about spending his days smoking cigarettes, flirting with women, and engaging in side work while on the job. His nonchalant demeanor and lack of regard for professionalism really irked John, but he decided to delve deeper into Brad's story to understand the motivations behind his behavior.
Hand out business cards with my name on them. You get a lot of side work. You know, you get a cute little old lady that doesn't know how to put up a cabinet. I'm gonna be there after work.
During their interactions, John discovered that Brad had faced legal troubles and failed to complete his college education. However, Brad revealed that he was using his construction skills for conservation projects, which showcased a glimmer of potential beneath his rough exterior. This contradictory image of Brad, with his mix of knowledge and misguided behavior, left John torn between disappointment and a desire to help him transform his life. As John's undercover mission continued, he encountered other employees who were facing financial struggles and personal hardships. These encounters deepened his understanding of the challenges faced by the Team Virtue workforce and highlighted the need for better support and resources within the company. However, it was during the reveal, when John finally unveiled his true identity to the employees, that Brad's anger and frustration took center stage. Confronted by John about his inappropriate behavior and lack of respect, Brad's anger erupted, defending his actions and deflecting responsibility. His refusal to acknowledge his mistakes and accept John's offer of guidance and mentorship showcased the extent of his frustration and resistance.
I was thrilled that you weren't saying the things before in front of the customers. Can I be blunt with you? I think you're making way too many excuses for yourself.
Despite Brad's outburst, John remained committed to helping him turn his life around. He extended an invitation for Brad to participate in a Habitat for Humanity project and offered ongoing mentorship. This moment showed the complexities of employee behavior and the challenges of fostering a supportive work environment.
My name is Sarah Bidorf, and I'm the Chief Brand Officer of Boston Market, and you're on Undercover Boss. So go home, and Neil will follow up with you.
So that's it? That's all?
In the Undercover Boss episode, Boston Market, an employee found himself at the center of controversy after a rant about his disdain for customers led to his dismissal on national television. The incident occurred when the company's brand officer, Sarah Bidorf, went incognito to experience the reality of their business. The employee, known only as Ronnie, unleashed his pent-up frustration on a coworker who, unbeknownst to him, was actually the chief brand officer, Sarah Bidorf. Ronnie's outburst was filled with anger and bitterness as he expressed his deep-rooted hatred towards customers, declaring, "I literally hate customers more than anything in the entire world. I hate them so much. They're terrible."
They're customers, they're not anything special.
You just really don't like our customers.
Customers are such like little bitches, and like all the time it's all about like, pleasing the customer.
Upon hearing Ronnie's tirade, Bidorf was appalled by his attitude and made the difficult decision to terminate his employment. She emphasized that having someone who despised customers serving guests was completely contradictory to the values of Boston Market. Breaking her undercover guise, Bidorf confronted Ronnie, revealing her true identity and explaining the reason behind his dismissal. However, Ronnie's response to the situation was far from remorseful. He defiantly asserted that his attitude would not change, claiming that his hatred towards people was not inherently wrong. His lack of understanding and refusal to acknowledge the impact of his words further highlighted his anger and disillusionment. In an interview prior to the show's airing, Beidorf revealed that Ronnie's behavior was not aligned with the company's values, leaving her with no choice but to address the issue decisively. While the show provided a platform for the public exposure of Ronnie's rant, it also shed light on the importance of upholding core principles and values within a business. On Undercover Boss, whenever the boss witnesses an employee's bad attitude, in most cases, he fires them on the spot. You won't want to miss our video, Employees Who Got Fired on Undercover Boss. Click here and watch.